Hi, welcome to St. Louis Community College. I am thrilled that you have decided to join our team. My name is Keith Fuller, and I serve as the Director for Diversity and Inclusion. What does that mean, you ask? Well, it means that in my role, I try to measure what we say we believe in against the real live experiences of our employees as well as our students. How that shows up is we have a mission statement, we have a vision statement, we have an affirmative action statement, and we have a diversity statement. If there is a distance between what we say we believe in and your real lived experiences, we want to know about it so we can eliminate that gap. Now, I mentioned that diversity statement. St. Louis Community College has one of the most comprehensive diversity statements. It reads, St. Louis Community College will foster an atmosphere of appreciation for all, regardless of race, color, creed, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, national origin, ancestry, age, disability, genetic information, veteran status, or class. So I know that's a lot. What I want you to remember is that St. Louis Community College will foster an atmosphere of appreciation for all people. We do have some guiding principles that guide us along this journey. The first I'd like to mention is please and thank you. You remember when you were a little kid and you wanted that piece of candy? Someone would often say, what do you say, what do you say, what do you say? And you'd say, please. And when you got that candy, they'd say, now what do you say? And you'd say, thank you. That's kind of how diversity and inclusion works today. Many of the beliefs that we hold were formed when we were young. And our ability to meet different people, work with different people, have discussions and dialogues, we learn new things about people, about cultures, and it makes for a wonderful piece of candy. Another principle we have is called 6-9. Here's how I explain that one. Let's say there's a number written on the ground, and from my perspective, it looks like a 6. And your perspective, it looks like a 9. Well, oftentimes today, we just argue about it, we call each other crazy, we go our separate ways, and we never really have any dialogue. What we believe at St. Louis Community College is that if I get to know where you grew up, the surroundings of your friends, your family, what were your influences, perhaps have you traveled and seen different parts of the world? And then, if you get to know the same thing about me, then when we come back to discuss whether that number is a 6 or a 9, we can have some true empathy for one another. Who knows? We still may not agree on whether or not it truly is a 6 or a 9, but we will learn from each other, we will have civil discourse, and we'll probably approach things in a more collaborative manner going forward. The Thanksgiving Day table. Wonderful food, friends, family, and of course, discussions. At St. Louis Community College, we believe that all of those discussions that you have in the safe confines with your friends and family, we can have those conversations at work. In a civil way, we can learn to dialogue with each other and learn from one another's perspectives. There's no topic that should be off limits. And we want you to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Derek Jeter, perhaps the greatest shortstop on earth. Well, for the New York Yankees, he's very comfortable being uncomfortable. After all, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, bases loaded, you need a hit. He might not get it, but he's comfortable being uncomfortable. And we want you to be comfortable being uncomfortable. After all, that's where growth comes from. So when you're having a discussion about a sensitive topic, some people refer to it as a courageous conversation or a difficult discussion, things might not come out the way that they were supposed to be. But we believe if you are in earnest trying to learn from one another, learn about their experiences, share your experiences, it'll all work out in the end. And plus, that's where growth is going to come from. And finally, diversity of thought. Let's go back to that number on the ground. Let's assume that it's an 8. Well, to me it looks like an 8, but to you, it could be the sign for infinity. To the next person, perhaps it's just a pretzel. And yet another person could think it's the symbol for the DNA sign. Well, we believe that diversity of thought, if everyone is in the room, can really shape our discussion. You know, we can't have these discussions if we don't have everybody in the room. So we encourage you to bring who you are to the job and share who you are. Now, all of those guiding principles were directly responsible for creating our St. Louis Community College Diversity and Inclusion Action Plan. That plan is executed by the St. Louis Community College Diversity and Inclusion Council, and each campus has a Diversity and Inclusion Committee. The plan, let me just show you what's in the plan. Wow, that's an incredible amount of activity. Our Diversity Council and 4 committees are actively implementing all that you just saw. I want to mention a few other things. Our committees are hiring committees. We provide unconscious bias and hiring trainings to make sure that we hire people who complement ourselves and simply don't just clone us. And we have a very active diversity and inclusion book club where at times we're visited by the authors that promote dialogue on all of those wonderful topics. But there's still work to be done. We're in the process of updating our Diversity and Inclusion Action Plan. We're updating the college's strategic plan, making diversity, inclusion, and equity a stronger part of that plan. We're also in the process of establishing employee resource groups, and we're launching a gender pay equity study. We're also extremely active in the community. One of the things we've done is to put community back into St. Louis Community College and connect. We've established great relationships with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Hispanic Leaders Group, St. Louis Pride, where we've joyfully walked into the Pride Fest parade for several years in a row, the International Institute, where you can always see us at the Festival of Nations every August. And we've walked in the City of St. Louis's Veterans Day Parade. We've hosted conferences for the St. Louis Agency for Community Organizations. And we are proud to be a member of the St. Louis Diversity and Inclusion Consortium. We're very proud of all the relationships that we've started, but we can do more. And that's where you come in. Now that you're familiar with our guiding principles, you're familiar with our internal activities, as well as our community involvement, we invite you to become a part of what we're doing. But first, you weren't hired necessarily to do diversity and inclusion work. We want you to become an expert at what you were hired to do. And then, after about 6 months, we want you to get involved in any way that you feel comfortable. We really need you. We hope that you'll be a part of what we're trying to do, and we welcome you aboard. So thank you for being on the team of St. Louis Community College. We welcome you. Welcome to the family. See you soon.